Here's the next little project for the boat. So this is the door into the forward cabin, and it's got a couple of problems, one of which is it's obviously been trimmed at the bottom when they installed it to fit, but they've put no sealant on there, so there's no varnish or anything. So as a result, damp's got in and it's lifted the veneer. So that's looking pretty bad. There's also a fair amount of scores and marks. So it's not a pretty sight. So the plan is seal this with epoxy, get it all faired, and then I'm going to get some veneer and just put a whole coat of veneer on it. But also our problem is that over time, with temperature changes and humidity changes, it's got very tight in its frame. It's really hard to shut. So I need to effectively trim off something of the edge here, about 1 millimetre all the way around, and that has a certain extra challenge. So this is the obviously the door furniture, the lock, and what was happening is even if I trimmed back this would still bind on the striker plate slightly. So what I've done is I've just cut back some of the rebate, so I can, and I've also had to trim the edge of this off, and it'll go in a couple of mils further, or maybe 1 millimetre further. So when I plane this, that'll then be flush and hopefully be far enough back to clear the striker plate. So bit of work to be done, but this side of the door doesn't look too bad. There's a bit of damage at the bottom, so I might just be able to patch that or just glue it down. So yeah, carry on. Well, what we've done is to cut out all the loose veneer, and I've got some veneer here which is teak. Now this stuff is according to the original invoice, the boat was fitted with teak veneer, and I think it is teak because the colour behind the handle here looks more teaky than the rest of it. I think it's had some kind of colour put onto it, so I'm going to have to experiment to find what stain will get it closer to this colour. So what the plan is for the moment is I'm going to stick on this veneer where I've removed the old, which clearly isn't going to match, but at least gives me then a flat surface and a trial patch with which to try different colours of stain. And then once I know that broadly if this veneer is the right-ish one and I can find out the right colour, then I'll get a veneer that will do be wide enough for the whole door, and I'll put a whole sheet across here. Okay, so I've sealed the surface of this in applying with some varnish. So what I have to do now is get the backing started off the veneer. It's super sticky. And just get it positioned so that it will lie neatly against the other piece of veneer that's already in there. Scraper blades just to try and get any air bubbles out. The piece of veneer has been nicely glued in here, so it's flush. And you can see where I've got some tape marks. I've tried different kinds of colours of stain to try and roughly match this slightly orangey colour. So I'm going to probably do a sort of mix of those. It won't match completely, but as long as the whole door looks the same, that'll be fine. So the next thing now is to apply one large piece of veneer over the whole door. use the rolling pin just to really firm down the edges. So I'll leave the glue to set for a few hours, and then I'll just carefully sand the edges nice and fair. Then it's ready for staining, a little stain, and it can then have some coats of varnish. Really pleased with the results. That's 6 coats of water-based satin varnish. Very pleased with the overall result. Just got to put it back on board now.